Welcome back. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to visit Moscow in the second week of July to hold the annual India-Russia summit level talks with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. So big news coming in there. The Prime Minister is expected to be in Russia to meet with the Russian President Vladimir Putin amid the ongoing Ukraine war. This is in fact going to be the Prime Minister's first visit amid the ongoing war to Russia, and this meeting does assume a lot of significance as well. So the Indian Prime Minister all set to visit Russia. While the Ukraine war is still on, the Prime Minister is likely to travel to Russia in July. And what we are hearing is that this is the meeting on the sidelines of the annual India-Russia summit. The tour is in fact going to be the Prime Minister's first visit to the country in 5 years. So very important bit of news coming in there. And the Prime Minister all set to head to Russia for this crucial meet. Abhishek is joining us. Abhishek, India has played a very important role while it is very wary and careful of being perceived to be completely aligned with an isolated Russia. It has very strategically also maintained a good relationship with Russia. So this meeting is going to assume a lot of significance. Tell us more about the scheduled trip of the Prime Minister to Moscow.
Well, so far the two sides have not announced it officially, but the sources have told us that the entire visit has been planned for the second week of July, and Prime Minister will be having not a very long and elaborated trip. It will be largely focused on Russia, India, and world talk. We know that for the last 2 years they have not been able to meet because of COVID and other engagements, but the two leaders have been regularly in touch. They have been talking on phone. We saw Russian President also sending congratulatory messages to Prime Minister Modi after his third-time election. And in that context, we should see the bilateral visit that Prime Minister Modi is going to take. He will also talk about enhancing economic and defense cooperation. Economic cooperation has increased. In fact, it has skyrocketed in the last 2 years ever since the Russia-Ukraine war has happened. And currently, the bilateral trade has become about $50 billion. And the substantial of it, it's about 70% of it, has come from the petrochemical, petroleum and the crude product that India has started importing after world, especially Western world, has sanctioned Russia. So that is very important. Also, the visit will be seen by the Western nations and USA as something that they have not liked much about India, because India has never condemned Russian action in Ukraine. So that is also something of importance.
But it's also important, isn't it, Abhishek, that the Prime Minister just met with Zelensky, and Ukrainian foreign minister's visit also happened to India, how Kiev is trying to drum support from Global South countries for, more support and also more help as far as ending the Ukrainian war is concerned. So the visit between Prime Minister Modi and Vladimir Putin will obviously be in the spotlight.
Well, while India has maintained decent diplomatic ties with Ukraine in the past, also in the wake of war, we have seen India has been playing a very balancing act while continuing its trade and other bilateral partnership with Russia. It has also sent humanitarian aid and assistance to Ukraine. They're having multiple meetings with the Ukrainian President Zelensky or Prime Minister Modi. At least twice he has met on the sidelines of G7. Last time he met in Hiroshima, this time in the latest G7, which was held in Italy. Also, India had sent secretary-level representative, Secretary of West in Ministry of External Affairs, Pawan Kapoor, was sent to Switzerland, while Ukrainian peace talks were arranged by especially US and European Union. And there also India stood its ground, and it did not sign the joint communique, which was largely condemning Russian action. So that is something of importance, that India has maintained a very balanced approach to not disalign itself or go away from Russia, while also sending a positive signal to the Western world that it is not in support of any conflict, and any prospective peace plan could have only been possible if the two sides would be allowed to sit on a table and talk. Like Russia was not invited into this peace initiative, and this is something that India did not support, because it said that unless and until Russia and the Ukraine, the two warring factions, are taken into consideration, there cannot be a peace that would last in that region.
All right. So that's the news. PM Modi all set to visit Russia in July. And this is on an invitation from Vladimir Putin. There is no confirmation, but that's the news coming in right now.